How can people connect with you? This is very important. I want you to use these few seconds to advertise your business. It is legitimate to do this. Please go ahead.
So thank you very much for the offer. First of all, thank you for having me. I really want to thank you for the opportunity. I know you've been very relentless. So I could tell a story about how relentless you have been. And that's true in connected for us to have this conversation because you want to bring value to your audience. So I want to salute you for that. I want to say to everybody that for the month of March, I have a free book consultancy happening where you can come and talk about your book. And I didn't say story, I said book. If you've already written a book and it's not selling, come and talk about how you can use it to make a business. So I have a training course I called Book to Business, where I sit down with people and really talk them through, show them how to use their book to become a business. The other thing is this month I'm doing free consultancy, and if you sign up with me, you get a 25% off the original cost of working with me. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm Dr. Ava Eagle Brown. You can connect with me on Instagram. I'm Dr. Ava Brown 24. But if you put in my name, Dr. Ava Eagle Brown, anywhere, you'll find me. I do independent publishing. We do editing, formatting, everything books here. I speak and I train and I coach. I speak on mindset. I speak on how to start your business. I show you how to start. But most importantly, let your voice be heard. I help you to activate your voice through speaking, training, coaching, storytelling, writing your book. And I'm not saying I'm the world's best, but I'm a damn good storyteller. I have spoken all over the world. I had audiences of 15,000. I've shared stage with some of the biggest names in the industry: Eric Thomas, Nick Vujicic, Marissa, Tony Robbins, Les Brown. I've spoken in Poland, South Africa, Barbados, California, Jamaica, Italy, Spain, France. I've really used this one book to have done some international crazy stuff. And I look forward to doing some stuff in Africa when I'm invited. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that. That is really powerful. That is powerful. Any person that have ear must hear. All right, now this is your final thought. What do you want to leave us away? What do you want to leave us with? Because now we have talked about the power of books and storytelling for business. And this is particularly important for our demography, the African diaspora community. What do you want to leave us with as your final thought? Please go ahead and do that.
Thank you. I thank you for that opportunity. I want to say to my Black brothers and sisters, yeah, that we need to leave our legacies in our pens. You know, we've read so many stories over the years that other people have written for us, the Europeans have written for us, and those stories most times are not correct. We have been listening to the stories we've been told. The tables have turned, and it is now the time for us to tell our stories. There is a book that one of my clients wrote, and I'm going to do a plug for her at the moment. And I know that I didn't seek her permission, but she is my client. And I know that she would not mind me sharing. And the reason I'm going to share this client's book in particular is because you asked me the question about us getting our voices heard and about storytelling for us. The reality is that our stories need to be told. And in this interview, I'm going to do a plug for one of my clients because her book could not be more relevant to this conversation. A client of mine called Kemet has written a book called Twisted. And for all of you in the diaspora who are listening, I encourage you to go and get that book. Now, I worked on Kemet with this book, Twisted. And Twisted is really a book that's really chronicling the whole slave trade. It's such an amazing book that she had it done in an exhibition in England. And there was a piece about, you know, master don't lash me or whatever like that. And it was so powerful. But really, Kemet has left that legacy that we can now say, this is our voice, our story. So I want to say to all the people in the diaspora, it is time for us to share our stories. And there are so many stories that we have. There are so many stories that we have as African people that we have been ashamed to tell. And a lot of us are not sharing those stories because the way the Caucasian man has shared that story, if we were to come forth with our version, then it would look as though we are telling a lie. Now, I want to say to you that, and I'm talking to you, yes, you in Africa, yes, you in America, yes, you, wherever you are from the diaspora, I'm talking to you. You are sitting on the legacy of our great-great-grandchildren. that is going to pivotally change the narrative for our grandchildren. And so if you don't get up and share your story, you are doing a disservice to your people, to your country, to your ethnicity, to your heritage. There are stories that a lot of us have sitting on that can actually start our businesses and change our poverty situation, change our narrative, change our landscape, change our lives, and ultimately change the trajectory of who we are, who we become, and who we can become. But because of fear, false evidence appearing real, we are not doing so. Because of the stigma and the stereotype. I had somebody speak to me recently, she's from Africa, about the impact of child abuse, beatings from her parents and what it did to her, how it impacted her marriage, how it impacted her work, and how it impacted so much. And she's looking to write a story. And in our consultation, she was embarrassed and afraid to share, although I could see where it could help me, for example. And I admitted to her that I was not the best mother at the start of being a mother. I didn't know how to do it. I'm still not the best. I'm trying every day. But I used to behave how my mother behaved because that's how I was parented, and didn't realize the impact it was having until my daughter sat me down and told me straight, Mom, this is what you did to me and this is how it made me feel. So her book has relevance, but she's afraid. So for those of us who are sitting there on stories or content, it is time to stand up. It is time to come forth. It is time to be heard. If not now, then when? If not you, then who? It is time for the African diaspora to understand that our stories need to be chronicled. Our stories need to be represented. Our voices need to be heard. Our stories ought to be told. We need to tell the stories to our children that they need to hear so they can understand it from our perspective. It is high time that we are the ones writing our own stories. And so I know I went on very passionate about that. I don't want it to be lost that my client's book, Kemit's book, called Twisted on Amazon, is a book I want you to check out, because that is us telling our stories. There's another book that I want to plug for one of my clients who's in South Africa, and her name is oh my God, how do I say her name? Zibuile. Zibuile wrote a book that I actually put together called I Survived Apartheid South Africa. Powerful book. I, for the first time, met somebody because she told her story that her father could not cross the line if he didn't have his passport or that passbook to show that he belonged, he had the right to move path. If the Boile didn't tell that story, I wouldn't know. I'm in Jamaica. I didn't know this physically happened to anybody I knew. So that is the power of us sharing our stories. And I know I went on for a very long time, but it's something I'm really passionate about.
I want to thank you so much, Eva. You are such a treasure. Thank you. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate your sharing, and I appreciate most of us your genuinity and your sincerity. Thank you so much, sister.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me, and all the best. And you have a book in what you're doing here. You just need to figure out the way to go. And I'd love to consult with you on that. But for everybody in the diaspora, my last nugget is: if not now, then when? If not you, then who? The time is now for us to stand up and be counted. And COVID taught us so much. I mean, I've learned so many lessons in the last 2 years. And we need to live in the now, enjoy life in the moment, and make sure that we leave legacies that our great-grandchildren can stand up proud and say, I am glad my grandmother, my grandfather was here. Thank you very much.
That's powerful. Thank you so much. Thank you.